Today we're going to tour Rob and Laura Petrie's home from the Dick Van Dyke Show in its true colors, including the main floor, the basement, and even the exterior. You'll see views never shown to us in the series. Hi, I'm Marina Coates. Welcome to Behind the Scenes, where we get up close and personal with all your favorite TV and movie homes. As we explore the home today, we'll have an expert on the Dick Van Dyke Show along for the ride. David Van Dusen is the producer of Celebrating the 60th Anniversary, an upcoming program about the Dick Van Dyke Show coming out in October. Let's get started with an overhead view to help us understand the general layout of the home. Upon entering, we find the large living room dining room area on the right. Straight ahead is the hallway to the kitchen and garage. The sliding door on the left, where Millie would come and go, is not actually a back door, but is on the side of the home. To the left of the hallway, we have a guest bedroom and Ritchie's room. And just off of the living room is the master bedroom and bath. The door to their basement, seen in 2 episodes, would have been here, behind the curved fireplace wall. And yes, we'll be touring both versions of the basement. Now that we have our bearings, let's explore the main floor. We'll start with the living room. This is the ultimate room for entertaining, and boy, could the Petries entertain. They would sometimes even pull out a piano for this very purpose. Since the only portion of the living room we never saw was this wall, that must have been where the piano was kept. This was the 4th wall that we never got to see, where the cameras and the audience were. I always add ceilings in all 4 walls when I recreate these TV and movie homes, so they feel more like real homes as I walk us through them. One of my favorite things about this room is the curved brick fireplace wall with the low brick hearth that follows the curve, giving a shelf for plants and seating. That was one of the great things about this room. There were so many different seating areas. In addition to the seating by the fireplace, there was also seating here, and another grouping over on this side with the well-known curved sofa where so many scenes took place. There were 2 different sofas on the set, one a soft beige and the other bold and embossed. The horse painting that hung over the sofa later shows up in Donald's apartment on the TV show That Girl, along with the freestanding fireplace, this time painted orange. David Van Dusen lets us in on an interesting fact about the artwork on the show.
Many of the pieces of art were actually painted by Ken Reed, who was the art director. Most noteworthiness today is the episode called The Masterpiece, where the art director actually painted 2 paintings. One which was the original intact, and supposedly then a second one which looked like the painting after it had been chipped off.
In one episode, with a large gathering at their house, Jerry Helper motions to this missing 4th wall as he tells the partygoers that they can sit in the window seats. So I wanted to do some views where we get to see that wall with window seats. What do you think? We can't explore the living room without mentioning that pesky ottoman. We all remember Rob either tripping over it or going around the ottoman in the opening sequence of the show. But did you know that's the only time we see it in that spot? Now let's take a stroll around the living room. Later, we'll get to tour the entire home. Just off of the living room is the master bedroom. Although we were never actually shown the inside of the bathroom, it was referenced on the show, and we know its placement here. Due to television censorship rules at the time, the Petries were given 2 twin beds. There was a wall mural behind the beds with a built-in shelf at the base serving almost as a headboard. In an episode flashback where the Petries are discussing purchasing the home, they mention that there's only one small closet in the master bedroom. This tips us off then that there is no closet on the missing 4th wall. Next to the closet is another window seat. As we take a tour of the exterior later, notice just how close this bay window is to the one in the living room. Nothing you would see in a regular floor plan, only in a TV home. Let's tour the Petrie's bedroom suite now before we move on to the kitchen. Some color photos exist that show us the true colors of this room, not colorized, but from an actual color photo taken back then. I colored the room accordingly. I was shocked the first time I saw the true colors of the Petrie kitchen. I hadn't imagined blue walls and an orange table when viewing the show in black and white. Rob and Laura's kitchen had an island with a built-in stovetop. Behind the island is the sink. Through part of the series, we see an electro sink center above the sink, a gadget that came out in 1963 with knobs for temperature control and pressure, and even places to attach appliances. In this corner, they had a refrigerator and a built-in double wall oven, all in light blue. On the show, we only saw the kitchen to this point. However, we do see the end of the island, and it has doors that open out, so we know the kitchen must go past this point. On this end of the kitchen is the sliding door. There's also a large see-through room divider. The area between the sliding door and the room divider is deceptively large, due to the fact that the room divider angles out. Now let's take a tour of the kitchen. On the 4th wall, I chose to give Laura some more cupboards and bring in some light with a window. What would you have put there? Let me know in the comments below. We were shown the garage on different occasions, but the layout was different each time. I combined the different versions and added windows to the wall we never saw. You'll see it in the upcoming tour. Ritchie's room is similar in that we were shown the room in different episodes, but it changed dramatically. I had to choose a version and then stick with it. I chose his room as it appeared in The Man from My Uncle because it shows us the most of his room. It was a very large room with a lot of built-in storage. We're shown part of a corner of the room that appears to be a little workshop area for him. Due to the fact that the room would need to end here, there's not enough depth to place a closet on the missing wall, so we're left to assume that the clothes he needs to hang up go in the built-in storage areas. On a fun side note, David Van Dusen was able to find out for me, from Larry Matthews, who of course played Ritchie, that as best as he can recall, the colors in the bedroom are blues and grays. So that's what you'll see as we tour the room coming up. We were never shown Ritchie's bathroom, but it was referenced on the show. It's logical then that this door leads to his bathroom. This then could be shared with the other bedroom and available for visitors to use. This room is used as both a guest bedroom and as a den for Rob, so I set it up accordingly. On the show, as people enter this room, they always turn to the right. Since that wouldn't be possible, I made a change, and you'll notice on the tour that you would enter the room to the left. We'll now tour this side of the home, beginning with the garage. Coming up next, we'll get to tour both versions of the basement that were shown to us in the series. You can also see a tour of the home in black and white, as well as decorated for Christmas, and even a tour of Rob's office. That will be at a link in the description below. The stairs to the Petrie's basement most likely would be behind the curved brick wall, as that is where Rob heads when he goes down to the basement, and it's also the only place with enough room for a stairwell. We get to see the Petrie's basement on 2 occasions. In Your Home Sweet Home is My Home, we see a flashback to their first viewing of the home. In the basement, they encounter a large boulder in one corner. I guess you could say their home buying efforts were off to a rocky start. We find out later that this rock also caused water to get into their neighbor's basement. David Van Dusen fills us in on the real-life story from when Carl Reiner was buying a house that was used as the inspiration for this episode.
When they went to buy the house, most of the houses on the street had been built and were sold, all except for this one house. And it didn't sell, and it didn't sell. And Reiner said, well, why is it not selling? And it turns out that a good portion of the backyard is a giant piece of rock. And that was the inspiration for Carl to write the episode about the rock in the basement, the boulder in the basement. And he said they discovered, or should I say his neighbors discovered, that whenever they had a heavy rainstorm, all the water ran off of the rock away from Carl's house toward the other houses and into their basements.
Now let's take a little spin around this version of the basement. In Hustling the Hustler, we are shown quite a different version of their basement. In the first basement, Rob comments that there wouldn't be room for a pool table. Yet in this version, that is exactly what the basement has. In the episode where Rob and Laura purchased the home, they mention that the laundry room is very small, so this door could possibly lead to that room. And you'll notice that a couple of framed prints in this room were also in their earlier apartment. And isn't that just what a lot of people do when they move to a new place, a nicer place? Some of their old furnishings wind up in the basement. Hats off to the set designers for these kinds of in-depth details, but also thank you so much for designing this incredible and much-loved home. Let's finish exploring it now. After we tour this version of the basement, we'll take a tour of the exterior of the home and then finally get a full tour of the main floor all in one take. The exterior of the home was never shown to us in the series, so I was curious. I wanted to see what it might actually look like. As you can see, if it was built as it was shown to us on TV, with the crazy angles and splayed walls, rather than nice and neat 90-degree angles, like in a real home, the exterior would have been a little quirky. I often get asked if I sell the floor plans to these homes, and the answer is no. This is one of the reasons why. TV homes are different than real homes in that the walls defy convention and sometimes even the law of physics. They look great on camera, but have to be tweaked substantially to create a viable floor plan. And now a tour of the main living areas and master bedroom, all in one fell swoop. That's today's tour. What TV or movie home would you like to see next? Leave your answer in the comments. I always check them, and it actually does influence what home I do next.
In celebration of the show's 60th anniversary, which will be October of 2021, my idea is to collect those sentiments, to take it down a layer or two, to the fans who really already know the show and they know episodes and they know the clips, and talk about some of the behind the scenes stories that the cast will share, and everybody fondly remembering their time on the show, and what a treat it was to be part of this special show.
Well, hope you enjoyed the tour. As for today, that's a wrap. See you next time on Behind the Scenes.